and we want to welcome all of you tonight to the Waszupp Crowdfunding Mentor Line. We've got a big call plan for you tonight, and I kicked the beats off so that they weren't distracting to you, but we have probably one of the biggest calls we've had in the last 5 years. Why? Because the word had in the last 5 years. Why? Because the word is getting out, and I'm going to introduce our guest speaker tonight in just a moment. Before I do, I want to just ask you a question. Can you imagine a fusion of three of the most powerful concepts in mankind's history? Number one, I'm going to talk about the first one, and challenges. People just find themselves feeling the need to go help with those challenges. In fact, back in the early part of the United States of America, they had barn building times when someone's barn would burn down or a storm would blow it over. Everybody in the area and the county would come and help build that barn. That was a form of charitable giving. And then as recently as the last decade, the Obama administration, the presidential administration, passed a law that took a concept called crowdfunding and legitimized it as a real form of generating money for worthwhile causes, and crusades. And folks, I'm here to tell you something, that charitable giving is a powerful mechanism. It reaches into the heart of people, and that's one of the trends that we've tapped into. The second one is, listen to this. It's called the dreams and hopes and goals of people. You'll never run out of that, is people that are hoping and dreaming and wanting something great to happen for them on every level, not just financially, but yes, financially, because who doesn't want more money, and maybe a lot more money, but also people have hopes and dreams and aspirations to accomplish great things with their life. And so we've taken that. I call that the power and the dream of achievement. And then lastly, we have tapped into a relatively new phenomena, and that's the digital economy. Prior to the Internet, what I'm going to tell you about would not have been possible. And yet, because of the Internet, something happened in the late 2000s, and it's called cryptocurrency. The most prominent of cryptocurrencies is called Bitcoin. Bitcoin went from about 3 to 4 cents in 2009. It hit a high of over 3,000. From 3 cents to $3,000, people became multi-millionaires. We have combined these three things and put together a leadership team of people that are on this call tonight that have several hundred years of experience. And we've got a proposition for you that I'm going to tell you. I don't want you to fall out of your seat before literally you can get started and you can make a massive amount of money. And I've asked my good friend of nearly 20 years, a man who I trust without reservation. He and I have raised our families together. We've done business together globally. And he has been at the top of the industry of training and helping people accomplish goals. And at the top of the industry of training and helping people accomplish goals and aspirations. It is my good friend Mark Campese out of Palm Coast, Florida. Mark, would you take some time to tell people about what's up?
Hey, Blaine, thank you so much. I certainly will. A great job, by the way, opening up your very powerful insights and articulation of truth. And wow, amazing. But listen, folks, it's great to be on this call with you tonight. I mean, I am not only excited, but I am incredibly expectant and hopeful in terms of what we're doing. And in fact, I've never seen anything move so fast as phone today. That's always a great barometer reading to me of the energy, the power of what's taking place. And so when I see what happens, amazing. You know, Blaine and I had an opportunity to work in a company some years ago, maybe half a dozen years ago, and we saw such powerful growth. We put 100,000 reps in 60 to 90 days, and I'd never seen anything move like that. Listen, I've got the suspicion this time our coming together is really of a divine appointment, and I believe we're going to definitely surpass that. So things are great. But listen, it's about you, to invite you on this call tonight to learn how you can really help other people and achieve your dreams at the same time. And listen, we've got what I refer to as a wealth building platform here, and it's an opportunity. It's a vehicle. It's a pathway that can bring complete financial independence and personal freedom, and it's beyond any opportunity that I have been exposed to in a long time. Matter of fact, I got a call from the founder of the company a few weeks ago. His name is Ash Sahib, and some of you have met Ash by phone. Ash lives in Dubai. Ash is a distinguished pedigree human being and marketer. He's been involved in the network marketing industry for 25, 30 years. As a matter of fact, he's $1 million earner in that industry, yearly earner, over $100,000 per month. He's paid his dues. He knows how to make things work, but he is a man per month. He's paid his dues. He knows how to make things work, but he is a man of absolute integrity. I'm telling you that because this is the mind behind this company. He is a man of absolute integrity. You know, I could probably count on one or two hands the number of people that I would want to be in a foxhole with me if I was ever in war, and he would be one of he is. The kind of quality person he is, the kind of person we're involved with. He's very, very resourceful, very determined. He understands the power of strong work ethic and, of course, caring for people. And this is his baby, and he really wants to bless people's lives with Waszupp crowdfunding. And so listen, for some of you on this call tonight, right? This can be the night that turns your life around. And many of you listening to my voice, you need your life turned around, right? And some of you are facing financial hardships and struggles, and of course we live in a day of economic, but you're stuck in a rut. You need a new direction. You need something fresh. Maybe for whatever reason your life isn't working the way you want it to work. And I would say probably about 99% of people fall into that, right? And our lives just don't work the way we think they ought to work, right? Well, we've got something here that I believe can be a real clear solution. You know, Blaine and I are big on something we call the RAD initiative, R-A-D, and that's really restoring the American dream. And by the way, the American dream is not just something that American exceptionalism speaks about, or the powerful American dream is all over the globe. Everyone wants to live the American dream. It's an ideal. And that's what we have in our hands here. We have an ideal. We have something that is bigger than ourselves, and we're out to transform people's lives in a powerful way. Now, let me give you some of the highlights of Waszupp Global. When Ash Sahib called me, he asked if I would be interested in becoming really one of the master reps with the company, three legs direct to the company. He asked me if I was interested in doing that, and just to have a call from Ash Sahib, I said yes. And of course, he gave me the full details. And then I went to my good friend Coach Blaine Williams, and I said, Blaine, and we discussed this. And by the way, it was very mutual in how we saw things, but we became partners. So Blaine and I are absolute partners in this deal, and all the way. Completely, and by the way, Blaine is another kind of person that I would share a foxhole with any day of the week and know that my back is covered and his back as well. But so we've started this process of getting everything moving here with what's up. Here's some of the highlights. You know, Blaine hit it, but I want to reiterate it because it's so important here. We have two powerful things that we are bringing to the marketplace. First is our mission. And what's our mission? Our mission really is to fund charitable projects, worthy charitable projects throughout the globe. And those I might say even grassroots. You know, sometimes there's these big organizations that collect charity money, and very little of the money actually gets to the grassroots people. You know, that so much of it's just eaten up in administration, even if they're not corrupt. Administration eats it, so very little gets to the people, grassroots groups, as well as individuals that may have personal hardships. So we're going to have a board of advisors that actually oversees that. But listen, we're out with great mission here. As a matter of fact, Ash shared with me today that his mission target, in the next 24 months from when we launch target, in the next 24 months from when we launch next month in August, in that 24-month period, he wants to donate $1 billion to worthy charitable contributions across the globe. How do you like that? That's powerful. That's something worth fighting for. That's bigger than all of us by the principle of tithing. 10%, of course, tithing is a biblical principle. It's a spiritual principle. It's a blessed principle. And so what we're going to do is 10% really of every donation that's coming into the business is going to be going into a pool to bless people's lives. I mean, that's going into a pool to bless people's lives. I mean, that's worth your effort, your all, your giving. So we're driven. We're a mission-driven company. We're armed, number one, with a mission, strong mission, right? And then secondly, we're armed, as Blaine said, really with the dream, with the dream, the idea that we, through this process of helping others, can achieve our own personal dreams, have our personal freedom, be able to do whatever we want to do, whenever we want to do it, and not be controlled by money or time or any other commodity. As a matter of fact, absolute truth. I've never said it with more conviction, more belief, more knowing than right now. But for you listening to my voice tonight, you are literally in the $1 million seat. And some of you are going to realize that in the next 30, 60, 90 days, how powerful that really is. You are sitting in the $1 million seats. And of course, you are sitting in the $1 million seats. And of course, money is simply a tool. It's a tool that helps us to get to our dreams. So we're armed. We're armed here with the mission and with the dream. You take this out into the marketplace, and guess what? You will attract followers. There's no one across the globe here moved by our mission and the ability for them to live their dreams. So we've got something so dynamic, so powerful here. We also have our compensation structure, and I'm going to have Blaine in a few minutes talk a little bit about that because he's had some successful experience with this particular business model, this compensation structure model. But it's a 3x8 step-up matrix. And listen, it only costs $35 one time out of pocket to get involved. When was the last time you were in a $1 million seat, okay, where the price tag to get involved was $35? One time out of up, it comes out of profit, not out of pocket. One time, $35. Amazing. And by the way, here's how that breaks down. $25 is the actual fee to get the contribution fee to get started. Then there's a $10 administration fee because 100% of all the contributions, my friends, are going back to us or into the charity. They're not going to the company. So the company makes a little bit of money with some admin fees, which I think is more than fair, and they're very, very, very modest, to say the least. But listen, $35, that's priced for the mass. If you live in Southeast Asia, you live in India, you live in Africa, you live in Central America, South America, you live in Europe, you live in the U.S., $35 is something that anybody can have access to. All they need is that in a dream. Guess what? They can bless that in a dream. Guess what? They can bless a lot of lives and be blessed. So we've got something here, by the way, that pays big money. And I'm not going to go into all that right now on the phone. I'm going to have Coach talk a little bit about it, but it's big. It's powerful. It's life-changing. It's generation life-changing. It's generation-changing, as a matter of fact. Also, I want to tell you that the system we have with the step-up matrix is fully automated. So you don't have to be worrying about, do I do something with this money or do something? No, it's all been programmed to work very, very efficiently. We've got to keep the main thing the main thing. And what is the main thing? The main thing is talking to people. The main thing is spreading the good news. And when this thing breaks and opens and our doors open up in August, I believe it's going to be an absolute landslide. A tsunami is going to take place and as the stories begin to grow of all the people we're helping, all the money we're donating, the money that people are making and living their own personal lifestyle of dreams. This thing is going to go across the globe like a rapid wildfire, and lives are going to be blessed and changed. Also, I want you to know that just to give you a very interesting picture, the company has had a free launch going on for a few months. Now, we're not in that free launch, any of us on this call really, but a free launch has been going on across really on a global basis. And in the last several months, they've put in free launch about 235,000. Now, folks, I've been involved in network marketing for almost 30 years. I've seen several pre-launches, and that's sort of the format nowadays. People do a free launch, then they do a pre-launch, then they do a launch. That's sort of the standard today. Well, most free launches, people line up, they come in for free, you know. I've seen some even recently, 12,000, 19,000, 21,000. That's considered pretty good. I've seen some with 50,000 or 80,000. That's like astounding, right? Listen, they have 235,000 that have come into free launch here. It's amazing. Well, here's what we're doing right now. Right now we are. It's amazing. Well, here's what we're doing right now. Right now we are in the place of positioning. We are in a positioning phase now, and we're positioning leaders. If you're on this call tonight, it's because someone has deemed you and declared you to be a leader type. That's why you're on this call listening to this. And what we're going to do is we're going to position you. As I told you, you're in $1 million. So you got $1 million positioning. If you can hear my voice, that's what you've got. Well, right now we're in a positioning phase. The site is going to go up. I'm told by Ash. So this Sunday, it'll be up by Sunday. And we will manually begin to position people between now and the actual launch occurs, somewhere between the 1st and the 15th of August. So we have time to get leaders. And listen, we want to bring leaders in. All right, so and this is a 3x8 matrix, so you come in and you must bring 3. Matter of fact, to get paid, there is a qualifier here. There's one qualifier. You got to bring 3 people in. Now, we don't want you bringing in this position, these kind of positions. You understand what I'm saying, right? We want people in those positions that are leader types that can get their 3 and can help those 3 get their 3 as we build a wall here of success. So it's very, very important you understand that. But the positioning is right now. This is key positioning. So even as you're hearing my voice now, you want to begin spreading the message. By the way, who do you know who's Latino, speaks Spanish, has clout, has influence in the Spanish markets? Who do you know? Who do you know in Southeast Asia? Who do you know in Korea? Who do you know in Malaysia? Who do you know in India? Who do you know in Africa? Who do you know across the globe that's hungry, that can drive this thing? Grab a hold of those kind of people to get positioned. So when the gun goes off and we start running, we've got a wall of strength behind us driving this. But let me get back to this 235,000, by the way. What Ash Saheed is going to do when we launch, okay, right now, everybody's positioning. Then when we pull the, okay, right now, everybody's positioning. Then when we pull the gun, it launches, what are we going to do? Those 235,000, all those people that actually upgrade to their $35, they're going to be positioned right from the top, left to right, layer by layer by layer. Typically, with these free launches, there's about a 10% return. In other words, if there's 20,000 people that sign in a free launch, about 2,000 or so get active. So if we're looking at just a minimum 10% here of 235,000, you're talking over 23,000 people are helping to fill in your matrix. Think about that. Wow. It's amazing. Now, I think they're going to do better than 10%. That's me, but that's what I think. But it doesn't matter because we're going to go to work with full court press. We're going to get going on this, and the company's launch. Then we go after everybody. We go after the masses, not just the leaders, everybody. You're going to see a tremendous flow from above, all these leaders pushing, driving, reaching, that they can get to the desired goals that they're setting for themselves. And then also the company begins to pour people in. I've never seen anything of this order before, and I believe it's going to be absolutely blessed. Now, we also have some tools coming. Just want you to know, right now the company is working on a promotional video that you can use. Right now it's the power of word of mouth, good old-fashioned word of mouth, folks. We also have a PowerPoint and old-fashioned word of mouth, folks. We also have a PowerPoint in development, a PowerPoint deck that's going to be used. And we're getting everything ready, and you are in the early part of what we're doing. And I'm telling you something, I believe that we're going to do something great here. As a matter of fact, I like the tagline. It's funding hopes and dreams. And that's what we're doing. We're finding the hopes and dreams of you that are listening to this call tonight. We're also finding the hopes and dreams of those who will receive charitable contributions through the power of this great opportunity. What I want to do right now is I want to turn this call over to the gentleman that introduced me. And he's someone that I consider to be a great visionary, a pedigree leader in every sense of the word, a man of integrity, and someone that I call partner and also friend, Coach Blaine Williams. Blaine?
Hey, Mark, I appreciate that dynamic presentation. Very excited. I'm making notes here. And I was thinking to myself, maybe we should tell them about the product they're going to receive when they get involved for the $35. And I am going to explain that, but I will say this. If you did not hear Mark Campese tell you, I'm going to tell you that the product we have is hope. That's the product we have. There's not a person on the planet that does not have a desire to achieve their most intimate goals, aspirations, and dreams. There's just not a person. And people have had the stuffing knocked out of them. They've had hope taken away. And I'll tell you something, this is the greatest time ever. In my lifetime, at age 64 this month, greatest time of my lifetime to have a crusade called the Rat Initiative, the restoration of the American dream on every continent around this world. And I'm going to just tell you, when people get in for the $35, they receive an electronic course on cryptocurrency. That's right, the digital economy, which is one of the hottest trends on the planet. That course is worth easily $750 to $1,000. They get it for $35. And the beauty of the digital course and the online educational courses that we will be providing, well, first of all, the Internet, there are billions of dollars of transactions taking place every day. Billions of dollars. And the majority of those transactions are online education or learning. And the power is they're 100% profit to the companies providing them 100% profit. There are no shipping expenses, and they can be distributed all over the world at a millisecond. All over the world in a millisecond because it's a digital download. It's very powerful. And so what you do is you put the 35 in, and it is categorically a donation. And that money, 10% of it, or $10 of it goes to the company as a service fee, and 25 goes directly to the person above you on the structure. There are 8 levels in the structure, and Mark and I are going to take a moment and just give you a little sense of financially what this can mean, because it's something like, well, we're broke, but we're happy. It's not true. It's not true. And by the way, wouldn't you rather be rich and unhappy? I mean, I don't think anybody should be unhappy, but who wouldn't want to have more cash flow in their pocket? So what we're going to do is we're going to help you have hope by attaining more and more finances. I don't think anybody should be unhappy, but who wouldn't want to have more cash flow in their pocket? So what we're going to do is we're going to help you have hope by attaining more and more finances in an escalating dynamic growth curve. Now, Mark, let's talk about this for a second. This structure, if you put it on an accounting sheet, would be you, and the very first row direct to them would have 3 people on it. The next row would have 9 people on it. The next row would have 27 people. In other words, it would be 3 times 3 times 3, and then it would be 81 people, and then 243 people, and then 729 people, and then 2,180,561. Now, listen, I can tell you right now, we've got a gentleman on the phone here that in a couple of months he put 6,000 people together in a company. Mark and I have known him for years. We love Buck, and I'm going to tell you something. 6,500 people is not intimidating to certain people. But it all starts with you committing to simply bring yourself in for the 35, share with a few people, and have 3 that will help you and work with you. 3, that's it. 1, 2, 3. Count it on one hand. You have 2 fingers left over. 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, Mark, whenever people come in and they end up on that first level, those $25 go to the person that is directly above them, so they'd end up with $75. The company then removes from the 75 automatically for the second course, and that second course, Mark, costs how much?
It's $50.
$50. So are qualified to get paid on the second row of people. Whether you bring them in or not, it makes no difference. They can come in because of the people you brought in. They can come in because I brought them in. They can come in because Mark brought them in. They can come in because Ash brought them in out of that 250,000 people they've got. But it's out of that 250,000 people they've got. But it's 9 people that you're going to receive $50 a piece on. You pay $50 for the course, and you get $450. You net $400. Now, the company will automatically take from that $400 the money for the third course, Mark. And how much is that third course? At $325, it probably will take a couple of days or less. Could take a couple hours. In some of your cases, like Danny's story, it's going to take a couple of minutes. But on the next level, you're going to have 27 people who buy that course. And by the way, you're going to receive 100% away. You're going to receive 100% of that money. And Mark, that third course was $300, wasn't it?
It's actually $700, Blaine.
The third course is $700. Excuse me, $700 times 27. Folks,
No, I apologize. I apologize. It's 100 times the $27
you're going to receive. That's all right, folks. We're learning. Mark and I are learning just while you're learning. $2,700. And by the way, you paid. How much money did they pay, Mark, for that course, that third course?
They paid $100.
They paid $100. They paid $100. And they received $2,700. They netted $2,600 plus the 3 1/4. They've now netted $3,000. Probably is going to take a day or two for some of you. Now what happens is, out of that, they take the money for the fourth course, which is how much, Mark? They take out of the $3,700, you're left with $2,300 net, and you are now going to be able to receive from the next 81 people $700 a piece. That's $56,000. Now listen, I'm going to tell you something. In my book, if I have $20 and a pair of slacks in my closet, I don't tell my wife Brooke about it. I call Mark and we go have coffee at Starbucks, spend it all. Hey, listen, $56,000 is a lot of money, and you only came up with $35 out of pocket once. Everything else has come out of the profits. You just now have $5,600 plus the $2,000. You've now got $5,600 plus the $2,000. You've now got nearly $60,000. They're going to remove for the next course out of that $56,000. How much for the next course?
It's $5,000, Blaine.
It's $5,000. You're left with $51,000. Is it going to bother you for the company to $56,000? You're left with $51,000. But what happens? There are 729 potential spots on that 6th row that will send you a donation of $5,000. And by the way, they are receiving more and more value in electronically, digitally downloaded material. These are things which we're coming out with, electronic apps